What's up, you guys? I recently launched my very first creative mentorship program called Higher Calling Creative Club, and I decided to host it on Skool. After months of researching, well, first figuring out if this is something I really wanted to do, and then two, deciding where I wanted to host this thing, I went back and forth. And the funniest thing with this is I was on the hater train with Skool to now hosting on Skool. So in this video, I want to give you a detailed breakdown of ultimately what changed my mind, why I decided to go with this compared to everything else that's out there. And then I want to give you guys a behind the scenes look so you can decide if this is going to be the right fit for you. Okay, so just to give you guys an idea of my experience helping other people launch their things, I have built out stuff in WordPress, in Searchy, in Squarespace, and Go High Level, and ClickFunnels, and Thinkific, and Teachable, and Kajabi, Kartra, Circle, and Mighty Networks, and I'm sure there's others that I am missing. So I am very familiar with a lot of the bigger name programs out there. And really quick, I only design funnels and ClickFunnels and Go High Level, and I only design my websites in WordPress. I no longer help with any of this stuff. I'm going to give you guys the advice that I give people when they don't know what to do and they go on Facebook and they're asking about it and people are like, yeah, go with this one thing because they could easily give an affiliate link. I like to just be very upfront with people and say, look, here's the reality. The reality is you could use any of these things, but it is going to vary person to person. What works really well for one person may not be the best for others. And so there are multiple components that you want to consider before you decide where you want to go. So here are the things that I would consider. 1, budget. What is the most you are willing to invest monthly? Because all these programs do have a monthly or an annual subscription. Number 2, what are your must-have features? I would write this out in a list, and you might need to make a pros and cons list with the different softwares that you're thinking about, because sometimes the pros might outweigh the cons. Number 3 is going to be your tech savviness level. Is this something really simple and fast for you to get started on, or is it going to require a lot more of a learning curve for you to figure out, or are you going to have to hire somebody to help you? And then last but not least, and this is probably one of the more important ones, you want to think about audience behavior. Is this going to be something easy for your audience to get in and fall in love with, or is it going to be a little bit more on the complicated side? Is there a way that you can guide them? What is the behavior going to look like? So once you consider all of those things, look at the different platforms out there and narrow it down to maybe your top 2 or 3. So now let me talk about what led me to Skool. So I remember when Skool first was talked about, it was a big deal because Sam Ovens is a very successful entrepreneur and he decided to focus all in on this one thing, which is a very big deal for someone that is that high level of an entrepreneur to be like, you know what? Forget all these other things. I'm going to just focus on this. So that was kind of like a green flag for me. And it was such a big conversation in the marketing world with a lot of high level people. I was like, okay, this is something worth paying attention to. Now, I had taken a look at Skool when it first came out and I was like, I feel like this is really, really overhyped. And I have some overhyped marketing software trauma from ClickFunnels 2.0, right? I was so excited when they announced it, and that was just such a letdown when it first came out, and thankfully it has gotten a lot better. I love designing in 2.0. It still has its things, but thankfully it is at a much better spot now. But when it first came out and how that whole thing was rolled out was just such a mess. And so I kind of viewed Skool to be the same sort of thing. So I looked at it and then I just kind of left it behind. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do this. Then Alex Hormozy stepped in the picture and started to endorse it and really start pushing it. And I was like, okay, this is interesting because I know his company, he partners with a lot of businesses, but I never see him promote things as heavily as I've seen him promote Skool. So they announced the Skool Games and I just kept my eye on it. I was like, again, this is probably just a really overhyped software. Now that Alex is in it, I don't know. It probably still is really overhyped. They're just trying to get affiliate and referral stuff going. And I just kind of like left it and didn't even think much about it until I started seeing people that I actually really look up to and admire start going over there. And I was like, okay, this is interesting. And one of those people was Evelyn Weiss. She won the Skool Games. So that really caught my attention. Then a few months later, another person I follow, Doug Bowden, he was posting on Facebook and he was like, I am so glad I moved my communities off of Facebook onto Skool because it's converting so much better. There's more of an active, engaged community. Like he just kept raving about it. And I was like, okay, I need to pay more attention to this. And then the tipping point for me was I did a trade with a friend of mine and his community is on Skool. And I got in there and I was like, I actually really like how this is set up. It was really easy for me to get in and get started. It was easy for me to connect with the community. I like that it's got gamification. This is actually pretty neat. So the next time I spoke with him, I was like, hey, how do you like this platform? Like from a builder perspective, what do you think of it? And he was like, oh, I love it. Like you should have your own community on here. Like it would be a no-brainer for you to have a community on here. You would kill it if you did your own thing on here. I was like, yeah, I've been thinking about it. He's like, no, you need to do it. So I had joined several other schools too. And I kept really liking the user experience. I really liked that it was off of Facebook. You guys know I'm a Facebook girly. I've been on Facebook forever and I'm in a ton of Facebook groups, but I actually liked that there was less distraction over here compared to being on Facebook. So ultimately, after researching and spending time as a user and then trying the 14-day trial to see what it was like as a builder, I was like, it has the core things I want. It has a community area. It has a classroom area. It has a calendar. It has built-in notifications. I don't have to worry about building my own app. People can access different schools in one spot, and my users are more than likely already on this platform, or they are going to fall in love with it like I did. And so it checked off a lot of things that I really liked. And there are a few things missing. So one of the biggest things is native video hosting. They do not have that feature. I don't know why they don't have that feature yet. I'm hoping that they add that feature soon. The other thing is there's not a built-in affiliate system. I really wish there was because I want to partner with some people for my community and it would be so much easier to have a built-in affiliate system so I can send the links out to my peers and then they can get a percentage of sales when people join my club, right? And then the last big thing for me, which this isn't a deal breaker, is the ability to go live in the group. Now, I know some people have figured out workarounds with doing YouTube live into one of the modules. I haven't tested that out yet, but these weren't deal breakers for me. Like I said, the pros outweighed the cons. Now, something to keep in mind is that this is $99 a month, which I know here we're going to have a little mindset shift talk here for you guys. I used to think that was a lot of money too when I first started funnel building. And I was like, who the heck would pay that? But there are a few things to keep in mind. So the first one is you have to view this as an investment. It's not just a expense. It's truly an investment, especially if you're going to be building a business out of it. Okay. Second thing is they do have a reoccurring affiliate model. So it's a 40% reoccurring affiliate model. So that's why they encourage you when you get in here, start sharing this with other people. Now, with this being said, I don't want you guys to think she's only sharing this to get the affiliate stuff, right? Yes, that would be amazing and awesome. I really only like to promote products that I actually know and have used and trust, okay? And so I can say, I really like this, and I think it's easy enough for people to get started on. So with that in mind, if you refer 3 people over to Skool, you're gonna have your school costs covered. So anything on top of that is just gonna be extra money in your pocket. Yay! Now, another reason I decided to build this over here is because I trust Sam and Alex. I do believe that they're going to keep on making this better and better as they go. A lot has changed from the time I first looked at it to now. And even in the last month where I've been building my community behind the scenes, they've added all these new features and some fun little Easter eggs. And so I'm excited to see where this goes. Now, with all that being said, let me actually take you into Skool so you can see what it looks like and see if this would be a good fit for you. Welcome to my school. So let me kind of walk you through how I have things set up and show you a few other things that I really love about this platform. So right now what you're seeing is the community tab. This is where people can post. This is where I post updates as well. Over here is where you can create your post. You can put a title, write something, add a photo. You could do a link, video, poll, emojis, GIF, that sort of stuff. But one of my favorite features is the category feature. You could create custom categories for your school. So that way, when a person comes in and they want to filter the post by Canva, they could click on that and it's going to bring up all the Canva related posts, which I love this feature. Now, if you are the community manager, you can send an email to all members, but just a heads up, you can only do it every 72 hours, which I actually think this is brilliant because they're trying to protect like email deliverability and making sure that all your members can see it. So be very wise with how you want to post things and send it out to your people. Now, if you do other posts, like for example, I am updating every time I add content to the modules, it will also notify your users up here in the notifications area. Over here on the right-hand side is just a reminder of what school you're in, a little about, and then different links. And you can customize these links and change these links out as needed. So mine goes to my referral link in school, my favorite place to give if anybody wants to donate money to this place. And then also one of my friends is currently fighting cancer. So I have her GoFundMe and I'm planning on swapping this out pending on who's in the community and needs help. Then it shows you how many members are in, how many people are currently online, and then the admins, which is just me and my husband. And then it has a leaderboard. And this is one of my favorite features with Skool is it gamifies things. And so you could always run giveaways based on your leaderboard if you want. You can see who's really actively engaged and reward them if you want. I really love that it has that gamification feature built in. You could see that it only allows you to have three pinned posts at a time. Now, something I wish they did was I wish they would allow you to rearrange these pin posts because this was the first one I created. That's why it's here at the bottom. And so I'm going to probably swap these out as time goes, but typically that's why I have the start here like really highlighted. But also in the classroom tab, you'll also see I have a start here module. So in case somebody goes here and they don't see this, if they go to the classroom, they'll very clearly see this says start here. And they'll click on that and they can go through the different lessons to figure out how they can get the most out of this experience. So let's go back here to the classroom really quick. So these are all the different modules that you can create. So essentially like mini courses. And inside each of one of these things, you can have different categories and then the lessons like underneath those categories. So I really like how that's broken up. Then for the actual post itself, you put in the name, you could put in content, and then you can add in whatever text you want. Here are your formatting options. Now, I can't remember if I mentioned this before or not, but one of the things that I don't like currently is they don't have native video hosting, meaning that I can't go here and just upload a video in here. You either have to have it in Loom and import the link in, or you have to do it on something like YouTube, Vimeo, or Wistia and pull that in as a link. So just keep that in mind if you are building things out here. So I have the different lessons. You can actually attach posts to these lessons, which I think is great, especially if you want them to take action on certain things. And that also helps keep things organized as well. Now, also with these modules, you can choose if you want these to be released right away or if you want them to be unlocked by level. They just added this feature. The buy now is brand new. Members can pay a one-time price to unlock. So this would be cool if you have a free group and you want to sell like courses in that free group. This is going to be super beneficial for people like that. You could have a time unlock, so almost like dripping out content, and then you could do private where it's certain members can only have access to that certain thing. So for me, what I've done is because I want people to focus on the community first, when a person enters my community, they have to engage with others in order to level up. And once they hit level 2, then they can access any of the modules that I currently have released. And you'll see here it says published. The ones that are grayed out are drafts that I have in place that I am working on currently. So really quick, here are the different modules that I'm going to have. I have the start here, branding 101, Canva. I'm making a whole graphic design foundations course. I'm making a whole funnel design one. Any PDFs that I've made are in here, including my paid products. I have the artist way trainings in here. I am going to be putting my challenge that I ran 2 years ago in here. My members in here get access to discounted creative consulting. I normally charge $150. So for people in this group, it's $99. And then I have a few other courses that I'm working on at this time. Then up here, if you go to calendar, this is where you can add different things. So if you want to do co-working sessions, if you want to do live training, anything like that, you could put it in this calendar. And the cool thing is on the community tab, you'll actually see when the next event is. And if I were going live, like let's say I was going live right now on TikTok, when a person logs in, it actually will start flashing with the live button to let people know I'm live now, and they can click on it to get the information and get the link and go to that call. We're going to skip members. It shows all the members in your community, what they're paying, when they joined, all that information if you need to take a look at that information. Leaderboards is where you have your breakdown of the different levels. You can customize the name of the things, and then it will also show what you can unlock when you hit those certain levels. So for me right now, my content unlocks, the content that I have published unlocks here at level 2. But if I wanted to, I could always go in here and then add more things to unlock at higher levels, which I'm going to do. I just got to figure out what those things are going to be. And then you can see leaderboard stats with people in your community of all time in the last 30 days and the last 7 days as well. So I think that's a really fun feature right there. Then about is the about page. So as people are looking at your school, they can see what it's about. You can add a video here or different images. So for now, I've got a few images. I am eventually going to have a video kind of talking through it and giving people a sneak peek once I add more content in. And then I have just like a breakdown with keywords and things so people can see like, okay, yeah, this is what it includes. I really like this. I want to be part of this community. So with this being said, and the about page, what makes this important is in Skool, and this was another feature that I really liked, is you can discover other communities. So people could go in here and type in whatever they're looking for, and they might find a community with that theme. So there's all these different types of things on here. There's lots of free groups, there's lots of paid groups, and as you guys can tell, I'm in a lot of different schools, but this is another feature I liked. I liked that I could go here and I can easily switch gears and go to another one of these school communities very fast and easily. And so I can spend time in mine engaging with people and then swap to another community and see what's going on and learn from those groups as well. Up here are chats. So this is the DMs that you can get from other communities or other members. Notifications will show you the notifications in your group and all the groups that you're in. But what I do love is that you can sort it out pending on the group that you are in. So if I go back to my group really quick, I can actually do just this group and it will show all of my notifications in my group alone. Then you've got your profile and your settings. I'm not going to dive too much into this just for the sake of privacy and what it shows, but this is of course more details with getting your community set up, showing how much you're making every single month in revenue, changing your pricing. Oh, pricing. You know what? Let's talk about this really quick. So let's talk about pricing and strategy. There are multiple ways that you can do this. I personally decided to go ahead and make this group a paid group. Now, the people that you see for free are people that I personally invited in. Everybody else pays at the $7 a month rate. Now, when I raised the price to $17 a month, anybody who purchased at $7 a month is going to stay at that rate, but anybody new who enters is going to be charged the $17 a month. So you cannot have like pricing tiers. So a person could go to your school and pick out what pricing tier they want to access certain things. That's not how it works. It works with whatever the current rate is. So just keep that in mind when you guys are building out your stuff. Some of you guys might want to only have a free community and then have a separate paid community. Some of you guys might start off with free and then eventually go to a paid sort of thing in the same group. But that's just something to go ahead and keep in mind. And I'll show this to you too because I really like how simple and clean this is. It shows you how many paid members you have, your monthly reoccurring revenue, and then if you do have a course for sale, then it will show your course sales. So it looks like somebody's bought a creative consult with me already. So that's just a really quick look at my community. Now you're going to see this little icon over here, and that is for the Skool Games. So you guys know Alex Formosi partnered with them, and he is running something called the Skool Games every month to get people in and engage in creating their own communities. And so I really like this. I decided to go ahead and join it and see what it was all about. And there has been a lot of value-packed posts in here. And I go in here about every day for about 30 minutes a day just to read some of the posts and engage with some of the people. And over in the classroom, once you do join this, it has a whole breakdown of how to play. And this is like value packed. Like if any of you guys are brand new to business, brand new to creating an offer, brand new to starting a community, anything like that, this is super value packed, and the community is as well. So I'm actually going to leave my link for the Skool Games. If this is something that you want to do, I'm going to leave my link in the description so you can go ahead and click on that to join. At the time of this recording, I only launched my group last week. I've been building it out the last month. And then before that, I was on Skool Engaging. So I'm still newish to this, but overall, I'm really liking it. I'm really happy I went over here compared to doing something on Facebook or on another platform. So hopefully this video was informative and gives you enough information for you to decide if this is worth getting started on here versus another platform. But of course, if you guys have any questions, leave it in the comments. I'd be more than happy to help you out. Until then, happy creating, and I'll see you on the next video.